Thank you for joining me today. Appreciate it as always. Um, this has been, I don't know, has this gone like 2, 3 weeks without the Wednesday mid morning, whatever the fuck, the Wednesday midweek report? Um, if it has, I apologize. I've been busy, right? There was Greece, and then I got my job back. Also, guys, I'm going to point out something really quick. My left eye is blinking faster than my right eye because my right face has Bell's palsy. So I know a couple people made the comment that my eyes are blinking out of sync. They're blinking out of sync because I have Bell's palsy. Now, I had this. Thank you for the 5x5, guys. Hold on. Ozark Prepper was the first one. Thank you for the 5x5. Mr. Landfill, the Warden, Shadow Prepper. Thank you for the 5x5. So, guys, I had this when I was a kid. And the doctor said that it would come back, or it would most likely come back when I got older. It came back. It landed on my fucking face. Anyway, I have to deal with this for the next couple of weeks. It could last up to 6 months. I'm doing everything right now to get rid of it. I took prednisone. That's not working. So right now I'm taking vitamin B, vitamin C. One of my kids' mothers sent me a couple of links to help cure this, if you will. And somebody said it could be the stress. It could have been, Tony. And that's the thing. It's when you, I guess, when you bottle it up or you handle it accordingly. It could have been that, or it could have been the simple fact that I was sleeping under the fucking AC in my room. I directed the air right above me, and that could have also activated the nerves. No, not shingles, Hudson Valley. Though they said it's part of that same family. Um, it, whatever. They told me it was going to come back, and it's back. So it is what it is. Yeah, Gene, I'm not going to do that. It's not function. It's not preventing me from doing anything else. It's just I can't taste on the right side of my tongue. I can't taste shit, which sucks. And this eye doesn't blink as fast, and I can wink like this, but I can't wink with my right eye. So whatever. As long as I don't have facial drooping and I don't look like Sloth from the Goonies, I should be fine. I'll be right back. No. I was trying to make coffee in 5 minutes, and it did not work. So anyway, guys, with that, it's such as life, and it's going to go away eventually. It's not hopefully it's not going to get any worse. It hasn't. It hasn't gotten better. It stayed the same since it landed on my fucking face. But yeah, if you stare at my face long enough, you'll see the difference. But it's a slight difference. It's not like people who have they look retarded. I don't look like I'm not like that or that bad yet. Anyway, it's fine. Yeah, like Gene, like I said, you gotta stare at my face pretty hard to see it. Other than that, you're not gonna notice it unless I point out. But other people, I'm watching my last video. I'm watching my left eye blink fast, and this one's not in sync. I'm like, all right. And people make comments, so I'm just getting ahead of it before people like he took the vaccine. He took it. I'm like, okay. Somebody was asking me that. Did you take it? I'm like, no, man. I didn't take the arm ticket. I didn't take anything recently. My wife seemed to think that it might have been the new vitamins I was taking, and I'm like, I was taking them for weeks, so it couldn't have been that. So it's either stress or the fact that I slept under the AC. It's like one of the two. It could be a couple other things as well. But I went to the doctor to make sure it wasn't like a tumor or anything like that. So there's no lesions on the brain. There's no tumor in the brain. So I'm fine on that aspect or at that aspect. Anyway, guys, for those of you that are watching, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. You choose. Whatever. It helps with the algorithm. It helps with the algorithm, and the whole fucking 9 yards, yada yada yada. Every time you watch a YouTuber of yours, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Not just me, any other YouTuber. And Gene, thank you for coming back. By the way, I've been meaning to. Matter of fact, can you do me a favor and email me or text me later after the show? Firefly. No, my ears do not hurt. But you know what's weird about this? I wasn't working out when it first happened. When it first happened, I was when it first happened, I was 13 or 14 years old. And when it happened, I had facial droop. I looked like Sloth from the Goonies. I was like, "What's going on?" Everybody's running away from me. What the fuck happened to you? You know. Now that it came back, it's just weakness in the face. But when I work out, the right side of my face quivers. So that's pretty strange. So I am keeping track of that as far as I am keeping track of that as far as working out goes. When I lifted weights the other day, and the right side of my face was telling me to go fuck myself. So there is that. But other than that, nothing's getting worse. I don't need it to get worse, because if it does get worse, then I got to go out of work. But if it stays like this, I'll be fine. Fucking people. So the building I'm in, do your nuts hurt? The left side of my nuts hurt. No, they don't. They don't hurt. Not at all. Not at all. But anyway, guys, let's get right into it. Enough about my bullshit. Let's jump into what's going on. So, in this week's Wednesday Midweek Report, which is probably going to be midweek report from now on, especially if I have to move it around. I'm hoping not. But we're going to talk about Kamala Harris, and I mentioned this before a couple weeks ago, stating that she might have to take over, right? So the vice president, with lower ratings than Biden. Keep in mind, Kamala Harris has way lower ratings than Biden. I mean, like, by a lot. I think she has the lowest in vice president history. States that she is ready, willing, and able to take over the president's job. Now, the able part, that's not a thing. There's no way on God's green earth that Kamala Harris is able to be anybody's president. She's not even able enough to be a vice president. But nonetheless, she thinks she can take it over. So during the Southeast Asian Nations Summit, that was a couple weeks ago, she states may have to take over from Biden and feels prepared to do so. How does a person who can't even do her job as vice president be ready to take over as president? She was given the reins, if you will, to handle this border crisis and done nothing. Has come out with no statements, no plan, no course of action. Hasn't even slowed it down. You gave somebody the opportunity to prevail, and she didn't prevail. She went in reverse. So with that, guys, her stating this, not that it's troubling some, because clearly if Biden steps down for whatever reason, she's going to take over. There's nothing we can do about that. But the fact that she thinks she's ready is alarming, because she's living in a world that doesn't exist. A world where she can take over this country and lead it. The Democrats, as of right now, the entire party can't lead shit. The Republicans are probably just as worse, if not a tad bit better. A tad bit better, but not by much. We need true leadership in this country, and we are no longer seeing it. The Democratic Party, guys, is not. The Republican Party is not doing any better. I know that we all like to think so. We all like to sit here and believe that the Republican Party is better than the Democratic Party. But if you step back and you look at the bigger picture, you can see that the Republican Party is just as bad, again, if not a little better than the Republican Party. The Democratic Party, sorry. But they're not doing a whole hell of a lot better. They are staying radio silence for a lot of things they should be making noise about. They are not charging Biden with impeachment, or there's not enough support, for impeachment to go ahead with Biden. Biden clearly has health issues and mental cognitive decline, and nobody is going after him for that. The Republican Party should have got him out the first blunder or two that he made. Instead, they're staying quiet. Now, is there a bigger reason for them staying quiet? I don't know. None of them are coming to Trump's defense. None of them are going after Biden and getting him out. Only a few of them are mentioning anything about Hunter Biden. The Republican Party is up to no good. We definitely need a third party, or we need a giant revolt. And the revolt guys would be the third party group, which would be us, essentially, going after both the Republican and the Democratic Party. And not going after them in way of suit tie, TV dinners, steak dinners, anything like that, going after them. And you know what I mean when I'm talking about going after them. I'm not talking about high fives and fucking waivers and signatures to get them out. I'm talking about going after them. A uni party. Yeah, something, anything, guys, that's going to get them light a fire under their ass. Light a fire under their ass to protect this country. Not to protect their fucking well-being in their pockets, because that's all they're doing. Both sides are. You know? These people are a cancer to this country. And we sit here and we go, we got to vote for Trump. Trump is not the cure. Trump is not going to cure this country. I know a lot of people seem to think so. And the problem is, guys, we think that Trump is going to help. We think that the Democratic Party is going to help because we are lazy. We are scared. We don't want to fight. The only way to change this country right now, as is to fight, is to get into a physical confrontation with both parties. To let them know that we're not fucking around and we are tired. That's the only way to go. Now, to set it off, that's where the interesting argument begins. How do we set it off? And we need a large backing to do so. It can't be 5 of us. It can't be 500 of us. It can't be 5,000 of us. It has to be a minimum of anywhere between 50 to maybe 100 million people to back our play. And if we don't get those numbers, we can't do shit. Because then we will just look like Suicide Squad. Sorry. It's amazing. Like, no one texts me at all. Not at all. As soon as 10 o'clock rolls around, everybody's starting to text me. These motherfuckers. Like, everybody's watching. They're looking at the live stream. They're like, now. And then they start texting me. It's like a simultaneous fucking thing. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But, anyway. That being said, guys, we have a lot going on. And there needs to be a fucking change. A major change. And you are in denial. Yes, BLM proved patriots were absolutely cowards. There should have been people meeting them at the forefront. Listen, there were neighborhoods that met them and got into it with them, but not enough. We should have done more for the guys at J6. Not enough support at all. We all cowered into our holes and did nothing. I didn't even see any fundraisers for them, to be honest with you. Like, none. But motherfuckers get their foot cut off because they were acting like assholes and their GoFundMe pages all over the place. We are absolutely, guys, going in the wrong direction. This party, whatever the fuck you want to call it, needs to be more proactive. And granted, we are not going to agree with each other. We have to understand that before we start a new party. We have to understand that we're not going to agree with each other all the time. We have to get past that. And we have to be able to sit down like men and agree that we're going to disagree on a lot of things, but learn how to table things to get main things out of the way and focus on main things. That's what we need to do. Yeah, David, I just don't know how to get this going. I really don't. I thought I had a plan. I thought I had a solution, but it's not going to work. We need a few million people to back us. How do we get that started? And we don't have a lot of years ahead of us. And it would take years to get there. But who's going to set it off? Who's going to lead? How many people have a clean background? How many people don't have a clean background? So we're in a what you call it, because the first discrepancy that comes up with anybody who runs, people are going to look at it and go, oh, like Russell Brand. I don't give a fuck what Russell Brand did in the past. If the man changed and he legitimately changed, I'm not going to hold him to the bullshit he did 20 fucking years ago. The point, guys, of forgiving people for their mistakes is just that. Granted, unless you were banging little kids, I don't care what you did. Sexual assault, guys, that's a relative term to the person it happened to. You could grab a girl's hand and say, hey, sweetie, come here. And she can consider that sexual assault. Or you can forcefully kiss a girl and they can consider that sexual assault. Or you can actually sexually assault somebody by raping them. The term sexual assault, guys, is wide, broad, can mean anything. You could wink at a girl, like I'm winking at you ladies now with my fucked up eye. And you guys are like, he's sexually assaulting me. Like, it can mean anything. That's the problem. So it's we are in a dangerous territory right now where they're branding people for shit that didn't happen or shit that might have happened but wasn't as bad. And then people look at Russell Brand now and they're abandoning his channel. I'm not abandoning the guy's channel. I'm trying to follow on Rumble. I'm not a big fan of Rumble. I am on Rumble. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm following him over there as well. He is not worried about the money. He's worried about the message. And that right then and there, guys, that tells you who Russell Brand is. He's not worried about the money. He's worried about the message. So I'm going to stand with this guy for as long. I'm going to stand with him to the end. That's just the bottom line. I thought Russell Brand was a liberal prick. It seems like the more research he did, the more waking up he started to do. So anyway, with that being said, guys, to start a party, we need hard charges. And we need people who are not going to waver in the bullshit. And Winter Homestead said Russell Brand's victim changes her story. Of course they do. Because here's the other problem, guys. When these people come out with these stories, they start to see the damage it causes. And they're like, fuck, I didn't want to go this far. And that's the problem with people. They might have done it at a knee-jerk reaction. They might have been upset at something he said that was unrelated to them. And they fucking sat there and they went full boat. And then they look at it and go, fuck. I remember these two girls when I was a kid. My father used to make us read newspapers, articles growing up, so that we had reading comprehension. Basic shit my father did. And now that I'm older, I appreciate it. When I was a kid, I was like, fuck these articles. These are stupid. But I do remember a lot of the articles he had us read. And I remember these two girls in high school had accused a teacher of raping them for good grades. And that they didn't get the good grades, so they sold them out. Well, lo and behold, a week later, an article just as big as the first article states that the girls are lying. But the damage was done. The girls realized what they did, and they realized that they were hurting this man. And that's what they didn't want to do. They just wanted better grades. And so they recanted their story, but the damage was done. Now, the teacher was rehired, but still, everybody looks at that teacher as a suspect now, whether the girls were lying or not. So these people do the same shit, knee-jerk reaction, fuck a guy's life up, and for what? If a guy fucked up and he's sorry about it, that's all you're going to get out of it. You can't get blood out of a stone. So anyway, as far as us leading the way, and Russell Brand, let's just say being that person to lead the way, people are going to destroy other people's lives just to fucking prove a point. And that's a big fucking problem. So we definitely need leadership, guys. We need real leadership, and we need real leadership who's not going to waver in the bullshit. Pete, was that last night? Because I saw the video. That was fucking insane. I didn't know that was last night, though. That was some insane shit. Those people coming out of the store with the clothes, and the cops were fucking giving it to those kids. The cops stopped fucking around. It looks like the commissioner, the Phillies police commissioner, was like, yo, hammer these kids. Because they were throwing haymakers at these kids in the faces. I was appreciating that. They were beating these kids like they should have been beat at home. That is awesome. It seems like the cops are getting the cuffs slowly released from them, and these cops are having a time. If this is the case, sign me up for police department right now. I'm going to start throwing haymakers at everyone. Fucking old ladies, little babies, fucking kids. You acting unruly, you're getting a beating. I'm just like, holy shit. That's some good shit to see, because the problem with what it is, it's a good thing to see, but there's a balance. There has to be a balance with policing. Because yes, you want them to police to keep crime in check, but you don't want them to go overboard like they did with a couple of people, like Anthony Baez and the other guy. Anthony Baez was the biggest police brutality case ever, and he was the more legit one. And then the rest of these bullshits we're seeing now is just people nitpicking at police brutality. But whatever. It's good to watch fucking people get their asses handed to them. I'd sign me up. You know, old lady, whoever, body slamming kids. These people need it because it's getting out of control, man. And more people like us need to step in as well, as long as you have the backing. I'm not saying like you're by yourself, take these kids on. You're going to get your ass handed to you. But if you got some backing, you got a couple dudes that you start throwing haymakers. Fuck them, you know. But yeah, we need to step in a little more. But anyway, with that, we're going to move on to the next subject, which is Target is now closing 9 stores across the country. This is across 3 states, if I'm not mistaken. They're closing down in New York, L.A., and Washington. Now, in L.A., it's in San Francisco. In New York, it's New York City. And Washington State, Washington and Oregon. My fault. That's 4 states. New York, San Francisco, Seattle, and Portland. Portland, Seattle. Sorry. Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, California, and New York City. So anyway, they're closing the 9 stores down in these states, or rather cities, if you will. Sorry, because it's causing and this is according to the business Target. They're closing the stores down because it's hurting their profits, and the safety of their employees are constantly at risk, and customers are constantly at risk. So as employees and customers, bullshit. It's more about their bottom line. They can give a fuck less about their customers. Because if they gave a shit about the customers, they would have security in there securing the stores, but they didn't. So it has nothing to do with the customers, but they're using it as an excuse. So Target is closing 9 stores in major cities across 4 states, claiming that theft and organized retail crime made the environment unsafe for staff and customers and unsustainable for business income. So with that, guys, this is what happens when you don't check it in the beginning. When you tell people, you know what? You tell security guards, don't do anything. Please don't do anything. We don't want lawsuits. But now you're crying about fucking theft. Well, if you would have had security guards, like real fucking security guards in there, throwing haymakers, that's the word of the day, haymakers. Throwing haymakers, you wouldn't have this problem. Or you would have had less of it. But instead, you told your security guards and employees not to do anything. And now you're crying about revenue loss and customer and employee safety. Such is life. And Randy, yes, it's right. When a store leaves the community due to crime rate, it's a big issue. Now, of course, I didn't write this down, but Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, wants to do a city-run food store. I'm like, wait a minute. They tried that in Russia, and it didn't fucking work. Right? So now these liberals are trying to come up with a cure or a Band-Aid for a cure. Yeah, Chicago. They announced they're exploring the options of running a city-run grocery store and how it could work. It's not going to fucking work. It's not going to work. But anyway, these knuckleheads think that's the solution. And that is socialism or totalitarianism at its finest when you start offering that. Anyway, the big box chain is part of a wave of retailers, both large and small, that say They're struggling to contain store crime that have hurt their bottom line. May have closed some. Sorry, many have closed stores and made changes to merchandise and layouts. So I guess the what you call it, the down payment or what the fuck's that called? My God, I'm having such a problem today. Um, where you pay ahead of time, lay something. What's the fucking term? Anyway, I'll get back to it. Somebody gonna what you call it. Nevertheless, skeptics. Now listen to this, guys. This is on CNN. Nevertheless, what the hell's it called? When you put a down payment on something, but it's called a lay, not a layover, not a layout, whatever. It'll come to me in a minute. So, nevertheless, guys, skeptics, I don't know, they're not saying who these skeptics are. Please listen to this part. Skeptics say stores have not provided enough information to back up their claims, and that at least one retailer said theft was an exaggerated issue. Layaway, thank you, guys. Holy shit, I couldn't think of that. I was like, layover? No, that's airplane shit. Northern Girls, thank you for joining us today. I know you've been here for a little while, but thank you for joining us. Thank you, layaway. I couldn't think of it. I'm like, layover. No, that's airport shit. Layout. Nope, that's when you pay for somebody else's shit. Layaway, thank you. So anyway, skeptics are saying that they have not provided enough information to back their claim. This is a liberal or Democrat that's saying this. There are thousands, if not tens of thousands of videos of people robbing stores across the country. Now, whether those stores are Target, Walmart, or some mom and pop is irrelevant. We're watching these people steal left and right. With that being said, guys, this is going to be a major issue. So now the one store here in New York City is at 117th Street on the east side, close to the East River. This store is a major hub for that area at 117th Street. So many people go there all the time. I used to go there a lot, and then I saw the bullshit there and the lack of fucking, items and supplies. I stopped going to that Target on 117th Street. There's a better one across the river in the Bronx that I frequent from time to time. But whenever I go to Target now, I go into New Jersey, I go upstate New York, where there's better items to choose from, right? And there's an abundance of them there. Anyway, the stores being closed next month include one in Manhattan, that's in East Harlem, 117th Street, which has been open since 2010. They've only been open for 13 years. Multiple locations in San Francisco, Seattle, and Portland, Oregon. In recent months, Target has been vocal on the topic of theft within its stores, particularly about organized retail crime, in which a large amount of merchandise is stolen and then sold back in the black market or back online. What people are doing is they're going into these stores, they're stealing shit, they're walking out, they're going home, and they're putting it on eBay. Now, eBay's been trying to help with slowing this down, but they can't because they don't have a way to stop it, a real way to stop it. Now, there's one way to stop it, and that would be provide receipts for the item you're going to sell. The problem with that is that, well, what if you threw the receipt away and you wanted to sell it? So that's a problem. But anyway, eBay tried. They gave it the good 1-2 try, but it didn't work. While speaking at an earnings call in August, this is Target now, Chief Executive Brian Cornell said that the company continues to face unacceptable amount of retail theft and organized retail crime. He said that in the first 5 months of the year, theft in its stores involved violence or threats of violence rose 120%. Now, the violence in the stores were to customers and employees, and it rose 120% earlier this year in comparison from last year. When you don't stop things, guys, when you don't have anything in check, this is what it looks like. And again, this kind of activities, if you will, criminal activities, affects the community because now these people who are completely reliant on Target now have to go somewhere else. Now, again, the Target that's in the Bronx, that's right across the river, if you go across 145th Street straight across, I think you are now on 135th Street side. Over there's a Target. That Target now is going to be inundated with more people from the East Harlem area. And Target was trying to provide a service to the people of the area with decent priced items, decent priced food. And those people in that area, the criminals, ruined it for everyone. Now, people often say you shouldn't blame everybody for the few. You absolutely should. When you don't have the neighborhood stepping in and stopping these crimes, when you have people recording instead of stepping in and beating the balls off these people, you too are part of the problem. If you don't get in there and you don't fucking stop it or help stop it, you are part of the problem. And now the problem lands in your neighborhood because they left. Now you have nowhere to shop, or you have minimal places to shop. And East Harlem, 117th Street, shit supermarkets. Very shitty supermarkets. So now a lot of people who were going to Target to get away from those shitty supermarkets have to go back to the shitty supermarkets now. Now they got to travel to the Bronx or further downtown to go shopping. This affects a community in a big way because they got used to the Target being there. Now it's gone. Now Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, and Seattle are having the same problem. You're going to see other stores doing the same shit, and this is going to minimize the amount of shit that's being sold and the amount of shit that's being bought. This is where the city-run stores now become a thing, because Chicago is having the same problem. They lost a couple of stores. Now that they're floating the idea of a city-run food store. If this is not part of the design, I don't know what the fuck this is. That's all I'm going to say. But it's nonetheless, guys, a big fucking problem. Now, moving right along. Sorry. So moving right along, guys. The Biden administration orders $600 million in COVID test kits to be delivered to households. I don't understand why we spend so much money on bullshit that doesn't even work. Needless to say, the $600 million could have gone towards New York City for the immigration crisis or the illegal immigrant crisis we are seeing. Winter Homestead, yes, this is also part of that plan. Amazon wants more people to order online. That is their focus, their mission right now. And they want people to order online. So this could absolutely be a part of that plan. As Jeff Bezos did mention, he wants to have more people order online and go to the store less. He made some kind of mentioning of that. I have to look that up to confirm it. But there was something in regards to that and wanting more people to order online, and we're seeing it now. Anyway, so the Biden administration will once again provide U.S. households with free at-home Mr. 19 testing kits ahead of the colder fall and winter months. I don't know why they would say colder fall and winter months or whatever. It's just fall and winter. 12 domestic manufacturers have been awarded $600 million to manufacture 200 million new over-the-counter Mr. 19 testing kits, which will be made available to the public through covidtest.gov starting September 25th, 2 days ago. The Department of Health and Human Services announced last Wednesday, not this Wednesday. Households may order up to 4 free testing kits, which are intended for use through the end of the year and will detect current circulating variants of Mr. 19. Anything coming from the government, guys, is not to be trusted. Anything coming from these 12 domestic manufacturers is not to be trusted at all. These fucking people are going to... Supposedly, these testing kits, from what I'm hearing, these testing kits, guys, are also able to detect the newer variants. I'm going to call bullshit on that. Super bullshit. So much bullshit, I could fucking taste it in the back of my fucking non-tasting tongue. That's how bullshit it is. Anyway, $600 million is a waste. But who am I to fucking judge? Right? I'm just a tax-paying citizen that's watching my fucking money go towards testing kits and illegal immigrants. The Biden-Harris administration, guys, partnership with domestic manufacturers has made great strides in addressing vulnerabilities in the U.S. supply chain by reducing our reliance on overseas manufacturing. They're tooting their own horn on how they're getting testing kits sent to people because they're made in America. How about having more made in America shit that we actually need? We don't need testing kits. We need real shit made in America. Computers, watches, phones, food, perhaps, clothing, I don't know, medications, real shit we need, not testing kits. And then to sit there and boast about it, about the Biden-Harris administration. Guys, again, please see through the bullshit. The Biden-Harris administration, Harris is not doing anything. So it's the Biden administration. They only put the Biden-Harris administration when they're patting themselves on the back. But when they're not patting themselves on the back and they're blaming anyone, it's the Biden administration. Please take note on the wording that's being used with this administration. Anyway, this is bullshit. This is another fucking, ploy, if you will, to have the minions believe that they're doing greatness for us by giving us our very own testing kits. In all my dreams, I had said I wanted COVID testing kits in my home. Stat. Immediately. Because that's exactly what I wanted. Fucking people. Fuck them and their bullshit. Fucking hammerheads. Anyway, moving right along. I have an interview to do in a couple of minutes. I want to have a cup of coffee before the interviewer shows up. So, I've said this before, guys. I'll say it again. The Mr. 19 long COVID is bullshit. Bullshit. So, of course, an article comes out. The risk of long COVID has been distorted due to flawed research. I said this before. I say it again. I said it in the beginning. I'll say it now. I'll say it 25 fucking years from now. Everything we're getting, guys, is flawed. The actual numbers of people who passed away from Mr. 19, I think, personally, is flawed. It's inflated. We don't know if that many people, over 1 million something people passed away from COVID? We don't know that. We didn't see those bodies, and not like I'm looking to see those bodies, but being that the media knows, that the elites know that we're not going to see all of those bodies, they could tell us whatever number they want, and we have to go along with it. And we have to go, well, the CDC said. I trust the CDC about as much as I trust Hillary Clinton. And to sit there and tell us, guys, that this many people died when we don't have any actual proof, just them telling us that they did, there's a fucking problem. By the way, guys, today is Wednesday. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival is having his We Are All Gonna Die Wednesdays. Tune into that later tonight. If I'm not mistaken, it's 7 o'clock. I should know this. I'm a fucking, a mod. But I always wind up on there late. I don't know why the fuck I do it. I'm so wrapped up in my bullshit. But tune in at 7 o'clock on Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival's channel. We're All Gonna Die Wednesdays. So, guys, with that, the risk of long COVID have been distorted due to a flawed body of research. Not even one, but body of research, according to experts. Scientists from the US, UK, and Denmark are pointing to overly broad definition and or lack of comparison groups, among other factors in the studies looking at the indecence and the prevalence and control of long COVID for distortion. The paper published Monday in the BMJ Evidence-Based Medicine investigates the working definition of the condition provided by multiple global health organizations, including the CDC and World Health Organization, meaning that these two organizations made flawed accusations about long COVID. I'm not saying this. This is what the researchers are saying. None of the definitions required as a causal link between the virus and the range of symptoms. The flaws have led to consequences such as increased public anxiety, misdiagnosis, increased healthcare spending, and the diversions of funds, which is what they're more worried about, nothing else. Nonetheless, guys, I have said before that the misrepresentation of long Mr. 19 or long COVID is so that people get the arm ticket so that they don't suffer from long COVID injuries. It's a ploy, man. And I don't know how a lot of us don't see this. And the fact that more studies are coming out that it's a ploy is saying what? It's a ploy, right? So, with that, guys, be careful of the bullshit. And that's good. Listen, we have many more years of more bullshit coming our way. Many more years. The Democratic Party, like I said before in my live stream the other night, they want to censor or limit free speech. You can't limit free speech, and you can't call it limited free speech. Is what they're looking to call it. So much toothpaste on your toothbrush. Yeah. Stop putting so much toothpaste on your toothbrush. I don't know what that means, but okay. But yeah, guys, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, and they want us to believe their bullshit. And you know what? It's coming to a point, guys, with a lot of Democrats are outwardly lying, know that they're lying, but want you to believe they're lying. It's like the devil. The devil will lie right to your face. And the devil knows that you know that he's lying. But he's going to continue to lie and tell you to lie so many times you're going to believe it eventually. And that's what they're doing now with the information. Whatever the information is, guys, they will lie to your face, and they will lie repeatedly. They will write down that lie. They will video that lie. They will remind you of that lie every given day of the week until you start to believe it. Unfortunately for them, there are people like us who don't buy into the bullshit. We don't believe their bullshit because it's bullshit. And we've always known that. And so now a lot of the bullshit that we've always known is coming to light. We are watching it being checked. We're watching it being proven wrong. And yet they're still going to lie to us. They're still going to tell us that the arm ticket it's worth it, even though it's not. It's been proven not to be worth it. It's been proven not to work. It was never proven that it could work. And we knew this. And we said this, and we were labeled as crazy, morons, idiot. You guys are spreading false information. Then 2 years later, studies come out and start showing that it's not working. But we knew this. So why the fuck did we know this? How did we know this? Well, because we use common sense. We use deductive reasoning. Anyway, guys, be careful of the bullshit. Be careful of the shit you step in, because it's going to go into overdrive. They're going to make it such. They're going to bombard us with so much crap, man. It's going to be unreal. It's going to be totally fucking unreal. And we got to be careful. Thank you, All American Prepper. And we have to be careful of what we believe and what we don't believe. The opposite side of that coin, guys, the opposite side of that coin is we can't believe nothing either, right? We can't be completely blinded to their bullshit where they could be telling us the truth, but because we don't believe it, we ignore it, and then we get harmed by something that they actually warned us about. So we have to learn how to negotiate with information. We can't completely ward it off as bullshit, but we can't completely believe all of it either. We have to be careful about how we navigate these next few years and all this information that's being thrown out at us. So, yes, in Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, guys, he was hit with a medical misinformation last week, which was complete and utter bullshit. They're digging through shit to find medical misinformation. Anyway, guys, it's 45 minutes in. I'm going off the air. Do me a favor, like and subscribe to this channel. I have to get ready for an interview. I will see you guys tomorrow night, unless I pick up overtime, which I don't think I will. But if I do, you won't see me tomorrow night. But I'm going to try not to pick up overtime tomorrow night. I'm going to try to pick up overtime tonight. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow night. Thank you.